Welcome, everybody, to episode 189 of the You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We're your hosts, Adam Amy and Russell Gibson, here with another Timeless Moment segment.
Let's go.
Do it.
Yep.
What would you like to speak about this week, Russell?
I think it would be good if we spoke about what to do in your first 12 months as a collector. Where do you start?
Way back when. I'll have to get in the time machine. It's been a while, but yeah, I think
I get this question from time to time, and I also get this question from a different perspective. How do you start as an adult? How do you start as a kid? All that type of stuff. So
that's a good one. I think we lose focus of that as collectors sometimes, that when people are new to this, it's a very overwhelming. It can be overwhelming.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't know where to start. So yeah, very, very good topic. And what would your first bit of advice be if you're brand new into the hobby?
So if I was starting again from scratch and planning everything out, because I would probably say that's the other thing too about when I first got back into the hobby, I didn't really have a plan. I was just doing things and essentially experimenting. And so the first thing I'd actually do is, and I say this for a healthy approach to the hobby, and also I think maybe not so much for mental health, but just to clear your mind of maybe burdening yourself, is just getting a budget right. Because I feel like that is what one of the major stresses that people can come into contact with, is that they don't particularly have a budget and then they can go in too deep. So I think that's like the first thing. Just be realistic with it and stick to your budget. Because I would also say too, I feel like particularly at the start, there's so many different things you can buy and spend your money on. You can lose track, particularly at the start, if you just sort of just buying everything. Because I think that's maybe one of the bigger things that I experience and I've seen other people experience. You just start buying everything that you see. So that will be like the first and foremost thing.
Yeah. Like it's you either get one or the other, right? You either get the paralysis of not knowing what to buy.
Yep.
Or you just buy everything, and then it becomes not problematic, but it's just like, I feel like you're wasting, you start wasting your money for use of a term, because it's not focused. It's not a well thought out purchase. It's not researched. It's impulsive. And yeah, sure, you might end up with a few extra trades out of that.
That's right. Because it's not the end of the world.
Like,
if you're buying singles, you can always resell them. So that's It's definitely not. You haven't sent yourself, into a hole doing that. But at the same time,
but I think
nice to have a plan. Yep.
Number one, have a plan, have a budget. Yep. Know how much you want to invest / spend on your hobby.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you could get out of it. Things can get out of hand very quickly.
Yeah. For my next bit, I would say I'm going to have 2A and 2B, and you can do these interchangeable, but I would actually say use a tool like Card Ladder. There's lots and lots of different tools out there, so Card Ladder is not the only one, but let's just use Card Ladder as an example. Look at the zoomed out data. So look at cards from an all-time perspective. So what I'm saying by that is then you can actually look at the ups and the downs. And I feel like sometimes when you are buying cards at the start, you actually don't realize, are you buying a card that's decreasing in value, or are you buying something that's going up in value? And sort of getting your head around that, I think that's actually a really good idea, because is actually, you want this card, but actually, is this the right time to purchase that card? Should you be waiting 3 months, 6 months, a year even, to actually make that purchase? Because I think it's diving at the moment. It's a bad buy.
Well, timing's everything, and learning that, and not sort of not falling into impulse, not falling into fear of missing out on a card. Don't let that that emotion cross over with the reality and the facts. And by using those apps, and you can use all of the data tools. We go into a lot of them on the show. We go into Card Ladder specifically, but then we look even deeper into stuff like for pop reports with GemRate. GemRate's got some amazing data. We use the 130 point app to obviously see what recent sales look like.
Yeah.
So just be equipped. I think having that ability to do that extra research with the apps is very good, for sure.
I think there are more tools out there available for you too, and I think it's just, and also knowing like what tools are good for you to use. I suppose that's also part of that teaching piece too, isn't it? It's like, okay, this is a tool that shows you. So on the last episode, we'll talk about Ben Simmons. So that's a classic guy. Like, you look at him; he has had 5 or 6 significant peaks and troughs. Are you buying this guy on the up or the down?
Yeah.
And cards can go very much up and down, and also cards can go down. I think that's the other thing to really express to people.
Yeah.
Not everything is going to keep going up. And
not every card you buy is going one way only.
Yeah.
There are times where a player tanks. Where Ben Simmons is the example. You've got Zion.
Yeah.
You've got
Ja Morant was horribly down at times. So, there's something else to talk about.
Yeah.
So my 2B would be to say, look at product and look at cards. Find out actually what you're interested in. There's so many different sets for you to buy these days. What are the cards that you actually find aesthetically pleasing? What do you like?
Yeah.
Do you like Crown Royale? Do you like Prism? Do you like Hoops? Is Don Russ your favorite type of card? And so you can watch breaks.
Yeah.
There's heaps of people making content on Instagram at the moment. That's the other thing too. Start to follow some people that make some good YouTube content, some good Instagram content. Watch breakers online. I think for me, the one that I used to really enjoy watching was Leighton's. That was like my reference point, I suppose, because I found them very accessible. I found the way they spoke about cards and presented them was, it was clear. It wasn't sort of the backyard breaks type sort of pizzazz, and
the
that
hype
was just
stuff.
That's probably just my personality type. Yeah. Did you want to add anything to that?
No, look, I think knowing what you want to do and knowing what you want to collect.
Yeah.
Find out what cards you like, and then figure out what that's going to look like in line with your budget.
Yeah. Then my third thing to say is, what type of collector are you? So this is a little bit maybe controversial, but bear with me here for a second while I play this out. Are you a flipper? Are you a set collector? Do you buy cards because you like them? Do you buy cards because you want to buy them and put them away and hold them for long term?
Yeah.
So I think you have to sort of work out who you are. Do you have to be only one of those things? Can you be all of those things? Absolutely. Yeah, you can.
And can it change over time? Of course it can.
Yeah, and it can change too. But I also think too, buying cards to flip is very different to buying cards for your PC. So where I'm going with that is, I really want to get a De'Aaron Fox micro mosaic. So let's use that as an example. If I was buying that card to flip, I think that would be a terrible purchase. And in fact, I would almost guarantee you and everyone that's listening, if I buy that card, I'm going to lose money on it. However, if I want that for my PC, you want it for your PC, you just want to get the best deal possible.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be looking at it from the context of, is it in good condition?
Yep.
Am I going to send it to PSA, or am I just going to put it straight into a one touch and then put it onto display? That will be the conversation.
100%. Yeah.
I really enjoy doing set collecting. Actually, that's probably the thing I enjoy the most, because I enjoy the chase. I enjoy buying cards of people that I don't really care about, and then you start caring about Markel Fultz. You start caring about Ben Simmons, that particular card in a set. So for me, that's something I really enjoy. But probably the thing that I would say that keeps me in the hobby and keeps me coming back is finding those cards that I want to keep in my collection long term, forever. So, for example, making a list of cards that you want to come into. And I think this is something that was from Card School that they spoke about on an episode. And I remember hearing this vividly, and it was almost like a light bulb moment for me. I was like, okay, great. This really helps me steer my collecting into the right direction, because otherwise you can be a little bit with that.
I really like that. I like those. So in essence, you not only can you be a checklist collector, but design your own checklist.
Yeah. Actually, I never thought of it like that, but
do you know what I mean? It's like, don't just go on what they manufacture for you. Yeah. Create your PC can be a targeted list of cards.
Yeah.
That have a theme that is unique to you.
Yeah.
And there are no rules about that. It's however you want to do it. So I think that's very inspiring. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think it's just fun too, because then I think also for me, part of collecting is the anticipation of it. So it's like, okay, I desire this card, I want this card, and I've spent this many months looking for it and trying to get the best deal and, talking to people about it and stuff like that. So I think, that's also, part of the experience too. So maybe we could talk about now where else to buy cards from. So
yeah. Like all the different waters you can wade into.
I think this is actually a bit of the problem with the hobby at the moment. To be honest with you, there's so many different platforms. There's the Golden's auctions, which is
Can I just like go get
Yeah.
very philosophical? Maybe
Sure.
we're spoiled for choice.
Oh, spoiled for choice in the sense that
It
it's
causes
so
paralysis.
competitive.
There's too much. There's so many choices. You don't know if you're going the right place or you're in the wrong place at the right time, and vice versa.
Totally.
Like,
Yeah.
it's lunacy.
So eBay is one of the biggest platforms for buying and selling
eBay's
cards.
easy.
Yeah.
You've got protections on eBay, which is great.
They've improved their customer service enormously. So I think that's something you should talk about. But I think, Golden's auctions is something that they do quite well.
Yeah.
The other one we have to mention, even though I've never used this, is the new Fanatics platform, because I kind of suspect moving into the future, that's going to be getting a lot of massive cards onto it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And looping this back to Golden, so he was complaining online recently about how that huge baseball redemption didn't get put to open market. It went from redemption straight onto the Fanatics platform. And if I'm being not a conspiracy theorist, but if I'm trying to predict the future and get inside of Fanatics' heads, they're going to want to repeat that many, many, many different times when it comes to basketball redemptions.
Yeah, agreed.
And that's actually an excellent business model when you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that platform,
yeah,
Facebook groups.
Well, I suppose there's all right. So there, I think there are two main streams,
Sure.
and you're talking about digital platforms. Yeah. So marketplaces. So we're talking about
yeah.
So eBay is a marketplace. Golden's an auction house, online auction house.
Yeah.
Fanatics is a website, is another marketplace type environment. Well, where products are available. Actually, marketplace, as in Facebook, is that what you were referring to next?
So I prefer not to go into Facebook Marketplace. The reason I say that is because you don't particularly know them, and also there's no true oversight in terms of admin on those groups. And
good point. Very good point.
My personal experience is there's a lot of scammers on there in terms of PayPal scams and stuff like that. So for me,
I will say on that, if you go to the general marketplace, not a admin controlled basketball card, like a card focused marketplace group, where people ask for vouchers and things like that.
Yeah.
So if someone's like, has anyone done a deal with Russell before?
Yeah.
Let me know. And then everyone, I'm like, yep, dealt with Russell hundreds of times. Guy's amazing. No problems whatsoever.
Yep.
You've got a community that will back you.
Yeah. So an example of that type of Facebook group community is NBA Card Market Australia, 15,000 members, very well established, rules and regulations. They've got admin on there that approve each post. So that's the type of group that you're referring to there. The one that I probably enjoy the most.
And protections on that. If you get scammed there, the admins will put you on a watch list.
Yeah. If you do the scamming, do you mean?
If you're a scammer, if you get identified as a scammer, you'll be put on a watch list.
That's
so you won't be in the group. So they protect the group, new people to the group from being exploited.
Yeah. The one that I enjoy the most at the moment, though, is NBA Card 99-cent Auctions Australia, 3,300 members. Again, very active admin group there. They do a lot of really good things for the community.
Yep.
I think that's a good place to find cheap cards, and I'm using the term have some fun here. I really enjoy this in terms of, building up my collection and getting cards to either put into sets or to flip in the future, all that type of stuff. It's just, it's a part of card collecting that I really enjoy that page. So yeah,
for sure.
I think that's probably the end for me. What else would you like to add to new collectors coming in?
One of the things, and this is when I was in the hobby to begin with. This is something I really craved when I got back into the hobby, which is what led me to find Cherry Collectibles when I was in the city. Also led me to find places like Fast Break and other, do you know what I mean? Places like shops that we know locally. Find a local card shop. Somewhere that's got some dollar boxes, some $10 boxes. Find your local card store.
Perfect time to segue into our sponsors, Fast Break Trading Cards. Fantastic customer service. They got heaps of boxes for you just to sit through and sift through. Yeah.
Yep. Like turning up to a physical card store, nothing beats it.
Yeah.
Flicking through cards, making those decisions. I know there are people that will sit there and flick through card boxes for hours. They've got their budget of $100 for the day. What are they going to do? Flick through boxes, spend 3 hours, spend their $100, meet collectors, talk to the guys in the store. It's perfect. It's the best way to really immerse yourself in the community.
Definitely.
And then the other thing that I would obviously say is maybe check out a card show. Check it out. Go along, see what it's all about.
Yeah.
Set yourself a budget. Because you will be overwhelmed.
Yeah, I totally missed that. You're right. Yeah, that's a great way to network.
The people,
meet people, see a
people.
huge volume of cards in 2 hours. You can see 5,000 cards.
Yep. It's meeting all the different shop owners. You might meet people that operate stores interstate, but you get a feel for what the community are like, and I think they're very welcoming to. I've always found that the stalls at places like that, there are trade zones. If you're new to the hobby, it's a really immersive experience and a really positive immersive experience from my experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this Timeless Moments episode. We really hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Adam. That was fantastic.
This is a pleasure. I love going down memory lane and reflecting back to early days in the hobby. So.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the next
Spurs,
one.
Go.